Have you ever noticed some people literally never ask for any help, ever? They don't complain, they don't ask, they'll tell you they're fine even if they are drowning. Why? Well, it's not because they don't need help, not because they're strong, and not because they are shy, but because somewhere along the way, they learned that needing others is dangerous. And the reasons behind that are very different for each of them. That's why psychologists group these people into different archetypes. If you stay until the end, you might recognize yourself or someone you know in one of them, the trauma survivor. The trauma survivor is someone who spent years in a toxic environment. Maybe they grew up in an extremely strict household. Maybe they were surrounded by narcissistic friends who constantly criticized them. Either way, they got used to harsh feedback early in life. So, in adulthood, asking for help feels terrifying. They fear being rejected, being a burden, or being humiliated. Because of their unlucky past, they struggle more in their imagination than in reality. The fix is simple in theory, but difficult in practice. They need to change their environment even if that means leaving everything behind. And they need to confront their fears directly. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Some people refuse help without any traumatic past at all. Their reason is completely different. The soloist. The soloist is a specific form of imposter syndrome. They believe they don't deserve success unless they do everything entirely on their own. They're like lone wolves. If they accept help, they feel like the achievement doesn't count. Every setback is something they must conquer alone to earn their place in the world. To them, asking for help equals failure. It feels like weakness, incompetence, shame. And yet, soloists often become high performers early in life. They push themselves harder than everyone around them simply because they refuse to lean on others. But the problem is, they peak early. They get burned out from constant self-imposed stress. They lack collaboration, feedback, and communication, the very things required for long-term success. But there's still one more archetype, and in this one, not asking for help actually makes sense. The artisan. The artisan values mastery above everything else. Recognition, status, praise, those come second. The only thing they care about is the process of learning, struggling, and refining their craft. Asking for help feels like skipping the journey. It's not that they want to do everything alone to prove something. Unlike the soloist, they simply believe the struggle is where the meaning is. They'd rather fail creatively than succeed with someone else's methods. They explore, they experiment, they chase the thrill of discovery. People with this psychological archetype are constantly conquering new heights. Their growth is endless and fruitful. Because their primary goal is to own the entire process, this is admirable. But it comes at a cost. They feel lonely. Even though they don't fear asking for help, they often feel that no one truly understands the world they're trying to create. And that hurts quietly. The lesson here is simple. Neither asking for help nor working alone is a weakness. Anyone can combine both and become unstoppable. So the real question is, which one are you, and who do you want to become?